Hello and welcome along to Extra Time here on this Monday evening, the first one of 2024, and I feel like the first one in absolutely ages, isn't it really? It was early to mid-December, then there was a couple of Monday games, Christmas was on a Monday, New Year's Eve obviously. So yeah, we're back again here on the 8th of January. Welcome along to Extra Time here on Fox's Hub. As ever, get involved with us on the show. If you're new to us, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, get involved in the comments section. Get your questions into this evening's guests, and hopefully they can answer those as the best of their abilities. We've got Gerry, Taggart, Iwan Roberts and Tony Cottee joining me, Dan Bates, this evening. A new location as well, 2024, new location for Tony Cottee.
Where are you, Tony? What's happened to the front room?
All right, Tags. All right, you and Dan. Happy New Year to everyone. What happens when you have the family round at Christmas time, Tags? You have to move the table where I normally sit, and I didn't realise until today. I'm thinking, the table's been moved. So rather than being in the kitchen and you hearing my missus cooking the dinner, I thought I'd come upstairs. So I'm in my study, which is why you can see the coats, and then there's a few of the trophies there.
Yeah. So it looks like the store cupboard. Gordon the Gopher in the store cupboard, TC.
It's not the biggest room in the world, Tags. As you know, my trophy cabinet ain't that big.
Well, I tell you what, Tony, what would be quite nice is when one of these guys are doing an answer a little bit later, if you have a little look in that cupboard, pick out your best one or your favourite award, your proudest award.
Yeah.
And then you can talk us through that.
That is very easy, Dan, and I will do that while one of the boys is talking.
Nice, cool. Tony's got a secret mission throughout the show. Ewan, you're alongside me, as is Gerry. Good evening and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, boys.
To the both
Yeah,
of you.
Good Christmas.
And hello and goodbye.
Yes.
Dan Bates, he's off.
Yes.
He's off for a little...
Only for a week.
Yes. Well, missing one show, off for a month.
Well, that's what happens when you think you can play the game, doesn't it? Next thing you know, you're landing yourself in hospital, having a major knee operation.
Yeah, that's me tomorrow. So fingers crossed that goes well.
You'll be fine, Dan. You'll be fine.
You stepping into the breach for me next week as co-host, which we'll talk about that a little bit later on, I think, Ewan. You've had a busy start to the new year, of course, as ever.
Do you know what? I don't mind working over Christmas because it's, as ex-professional players, it was something that we're used to. You know, going in on Christmas Day, whether it be in the morning or 4:30, 5 o'clock at night before we travelled away to play on Boxing Day. Obviously did the Boxing Day game at Portman Road, the Ipswich Leicester one. Really good game, two very good sides. And then I was fortunate again on the 29th, I was doing the Cardiff Leicester game in the Cardiff City Stadium for BBC Wales. I mean, 3,000 Leicester fans made the journey on the 29th after selling their allocation at Portman Road. Absolutely, a fantastic effort from those Foxes fans, and a really top performance from Leicester. And I was at Loftus Road on New Year's Day, so yeah, a busy time.
A busy festive period, as it always is in the football world. We talk about quietening down slightly in January. Good evening to Amanda, who's watching us on Facebook, and to Ray, a.k.a. Bubba, as well, who's happy to see
Bubba.
Gerry Taggart on the panel this evening. We've got plenty to get through tonight. We've got to talk about that Millwall game, obviously, at the weekend, getting through to the fourth round of the competition. We'll talk about the draw as well, which takes place this evening, just after we've come off air, though. But we can obviously talk about who we want in that draw. We'll maybe mention that Huddersfield game a week ago. We'll talk in depth about Tom Cannon, of course, what a start he's made to his Leicester career. Daka and Mavididi are both up for December awards for Player of the Month for their performances in December. We'll talk about the pair of those. We'll go globe-trotting with Iwan Roberts. We've got our football Jenga at the end. We've got to look back at our predictions. And as ever, as we've done for the last season and a half, we've got our Lurdle, which is the opportunity for you guys at home to get involved with the show. Let's start, though, with that Millwall game. Gerry, you were working it. We can't say convincing, can we? Absolutely not. It wasn't convincing, but Leicester are through, and they're in the hat for that draw this evening.
Yeah, which is the most important thing. Making sure you're in the hat for friendly FA Cup. Never easy, the third round, especially depending on which sort of tie you get. And obviously on paper it was a difficult tie for Leicester, going away to Millwall, who have picked up in recent weeks, and I think only team to win all their games in the league over the festive period.
From Christmas onwards.
From Christmas onwards, yeah. But I thought, attacking wise, I thought Leicester were excellent. The only sticking point for me was defensively from the set pieces again. And I know that the team was changed slightly, especially the back line. But I was thinking about this today while I was walking the dog. And as a manager, even though you're changing the team, which mightn't necessarily be your first 11 in the league games, you're still hoping and expecting, can these lads who are coming in do any better from, which is obviously a weakness of Leicester's, and that's from the set piece. And unfortunately, the answer was no. So it's a bit of a headache. Yes, going forward, yes, they're scoring goals, but you can't get away with that forever and a day. Sooner or later, things like that will catch up with you. And fortunately enough, it didn't catch up with Leicester on Saturday. But I think if you look at the bigger picture and moving forward, and all things being equal and everything goes according to plan, then it's obviously something that needs addressing in the medium to long term.
Was it 7 changes, I think, altogether for the team that beat Huddersfield? Young Ben Nelson came in. I didn't see the game ties. You'll be able to say how he performed.
Yeah.
It was carbon copy of the league game here. First couple of weeks, when 2-0 up, then they got to go back, and then we go and score that third, and you think it's game over. And then they score late on again, which makes it an uncomfortable final few minutes. But, we see the game out, and they're the two negatives for me. The start, I thought Millwall looked as if they started brighter.
Yeah.
Duncan Watmore, who I like as a player, hard working, makes good runs. Looked like he caused a few problems down that right hand side. The 2 goals conceded from corner kicks is a negative. Scored 3 outstanding goals, and to go to Millwall and score 3 goals, because only Leicester and West Brom have kept more clean sheets in the Championship than Millwall. So that has to be an absolute big positive for the club, especially with the changes that were made. And Tom Cannon, he's been patient. He's had to wait for this opportunity. I'm sure we'll talk about him in a little while. 3 goals in 2 games on 2 starts. Great start for him personally. I mean, and good goals as well. Powerful. Reminds me a little bit of Stevie Bull in his pomp, just brushing centre halves out of the way, and the way he finishes. A great header for the first from Cassidy. Fantastic header, great ball in from Mark Albrighton. And it's not the tie, as a professional, it's not the tie that you want. You don't want, I don't know about you two lads, I never wanted to play in the 3rd or 4th round of the Cup against a team from the same division, because you play against them twice when you become that, especially when you've played them a few weeks before. So all in all, disappointed with the 2 goals, but into the 4th round, 3 top quality goals. Ricardo on the score sheet, he can't stop scoring at the minute. Good positive signs.
Yeah, Lee Priest on Facebook says he was at the game at the weekend. Well done for travelling down, Lee. He says he thought we were a little bit lucky to come away with the win, but a win is a win. And Tony, you'll know from your, albeit short time, playing as a Millwall player, that it is a really tough place to go, and that's what the early rounds of the cup competitions can be about, just scraping through in ties and making sure that you're in the hat for that next round.
Yeah, first and foremost, Dan, I was just going to, I don't know whether it's been mentioned, ask Ewan where his shoulder pads and his crash helmet is. Yeah, I don't know whether it's been mentioned yet, but I thought I would just mention it. Just a little observation since he last come to me. Being serious, going to the Den at any time of any stage of any season is a really tough place to go. It really is. It's intimidating. The crowd's hostile. It's always like that. It's not just for Leicester, for the Leicester game. They do it for every game. And, there's a lot of good people behind the scenes at Millwall Football Club, as I found out when I worked there, albeit for 6 weeks. But the fans are very, very hostile. It's all part of being a Millwall fan and trying to intimidate the opposition. And that's what happens with the game. There was a couple of unsavoury things, which we won't talk about. But, that you get the picture. It's a tough place to go to. It really, really is. And I think the win itself, it's a fantastic win. Ewan's right. If you're playing in the Championship, you don't really want to play one of your Championship rivals. You want to particularly play a Premier League team, I would suggest, and pit your wits against them, or have a home tie against a lower league team. But you get what you're given, and, we're going to see what the draw sort of spins up for Leicester around about 8 o'clock tonight. and hopefully, a nice home draw would be good. I can promise you one thing: there won't be too many teams out there that will fancy coming to the KP at the moment. The way Leicester are playing, and many changes at the weekend, and again, I think that's a real positive that you can make those changes and you still get the result, because we've seen it so many times. Teams make 7, 8, 9 changes and then they get dumped out of the FA Cup, and then everyone's moaning, oh yeah, we're doing well in the league, but we got knocked out of the cup. Not the case for Leicester. I didn't see the game live, Dan, as you know, but I've seen the goals and what happened in the game, and it was a fantastic performance in terms of creation and scoring the goals. A bit slight worry with the corners, as Tags touched on, but all in all, a really fantastic result for the club, and the fans can all look forward to the draw now.
I mean, we spoke at the beginning of December. We said how important this period was. 8 games in so many days, including obviously New Year. 22 points from 24.
And the 2 that were dropped were from a double deflection, weren't they, in the last minute?
Yes, against
Ipswich.
Yes. So, people were saying when we lost here to Leeds, or Leeds are on a roll, and one thing or another, Ipswich are flying. All of a sudden, after the win here against Huddersfield on New Year's Day, 10 points clear of Ipswich now in second, 13 points clear of Southampton in third, 17 points cleared of. It's been a fantastic festive period for the football club. Yeah,
well, I've been harping on about it. When you're coming into this busy period, you've just got to make sure you take care of your own business, because teams will drop points, and especially in this period. And that's exactly what we've seen. Even the likes of Southampton, who were on a great winning streak, dropped points.
Went to Norwich, didn't they?
Exactly. And that's just give Leicester that little cushion that they had before. So unbelievable December for Leicester City, it has to be said. And they've done exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah, you just read out from basically drawing away at Sheffield Wednesday. December started on the 2nd.
And that was another last minute goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, so then from Saturday the 2nd of December, 2-1 win against West Brom. We know how late and incredible that was. 4-0 against Plymouth, 3-2 Millwall, 3-2 against Birmingham, 3-0 against Rotherham, 1-1 against Ipswich. We've just said that, how unlucky that was, conceding late on. 2-0 away at Cardiff, 4-1 at home to Huddersfield on the 1st of January, and now a win in the FA Cup as well. And you look at a run like that, if you're going to do it any time, you probably do it during the festive period.
And obviously, I did the 2 games over the Christmas period at Cardiff on the 29th, and there was a fan that he always sits in front of me in the press box, and he turned round and he said to me, he said, I wasn't going to come today. He says, but I want to see Leicester. I mean, that's the draw the football club is. I mean, I think he was going to give it a miss. Don't know why, but he wanted to see Leicester play, and I don't think, even though he's a Cardiff fan, he wasn't disappointed on the night.
Well, and you do just need to look at the table, Tony, don't you? Really, 10 points clear. Leicester, I know it was an FA Cup game at the weekend, but obviously it's all about the league, isn't it? This season for the Foxes, 10 clear of second, 13 clear of third. That's huge, and we know there's still an awfully long way to go, but they'll have been delighted if they were offered that at the start of January, at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. And, the lads have touched on it. It's so difficult over Christmas, New Year to be consistent. It's difficult throughout the whole of the season to be consistent like Leicester have, whereas we're talking now early January, and, it's hard to think of. Yeah, of course, there's been a couple of defeats, but there's not been any blips, I don't think, in terms of the performances and the results. It's been absolutely fantastic. Over Christmas, as we know, you get the 4 games normally over the Christmas, New Year period, and it's so easy to lose a couple of games, draw the other one, maybe win one of the games. All of a sudden, the gap closes and you're starting to look over your shoulder. But Leicester have done the complete opposite, and everyone at the club deserves great credit for that, because, as I say, I can't emphasise how difficult it is as a professional footballer to be consistent as an individual and as a team. It's the hardest thing to do. You could go out one week and win 5 or 6-0. Yeah, that's fine. And if you then lose the next week 3-0, you look back, well, how can you do that? Very rarely in your career you get times when you go on those run of forms. It happened a couple of times in my career, not too many times. It's just a fantastic time. You go out as a player, looking forward to the games, enjoying the games. If you're a forward, you're scoring goals, the team's winning, the fans are happy, and it's a great time to be a Leicester City fan. It really is. But the consistency shown over Christmas, New Year has been phenomenal.
I mean, you just look at the two other teams that were chasing Leicester down at the beginning of the season are up until this midway point in the season. And obviously Ipswich haven't won any of their last 5 games. And they've drawn 4 and lost 1. And Leeds have won 2, but they've lost 2 and drawn 1 as well. And that just sort of tells you that if you can keep it together. Now, obviously, again, you've got Southampton in there who've got exactly the same record in the last 5 games as Leicester.
They've not lost in about 16 or 17, exactly. Have they?
Yeah. But there you, and that just shows you exactly what we've been talking about. If you can keep those levels, that consistency, then the teams in and around you, somewhere along the line, will drop points, and that's exactly what's happened. And obviously, as I said, Southampton's are coming up on the rails, aren't they, at the minute? But they're still in 3rd place.
But can you imagine Russell Martin and his players in the dressing room, unbeaten in 16 or 17, and they're still 13 points behind Leicester?
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
And the run coming up for Leicester, Tony, is it's Coventry away. We know that
Tough.
could be difficult, really, with their home form, firstly, and the fact it's a local derby, obviously. Ipswich at home, then it's Swansea at home. That one will be moved, I think, for the FA Cup. And then Stoke away, Watford away, Sheffield Wednesday at home. There are, again, very winnable games for Leicester, but also games that could be quite difficult.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, you're listing those games out there, Dan. There's a few that you think, they should be a Leicester win, but in particular, you look at Coventry, who are doing really well at the moment under Mark Robbins. That's going to be a really, really tough game, and of course the Ipswich game as well. You know, both games live on the telly as well. Great atmospheres at both games. So you know, Leicester have just got to keep doing what they're doing, and I'm sure that's what the manager's saying. He's got them. You know, he set out right from that first game of the season. He set out his style of play, how he wants them to play. The players have stuck with it. The results have come as a result of it. And just carry on doing what you're doing. You know, you don't need to change things. You don't need to tinker with things. You know, I get frustrated sometimes when you see some of these managers and the teams winning games and they tinker with it and, you know, take 2 out and put 2 in, or we switch formations. You don't need to. And, you know, I still think it's a little bit of a fallacy as well about players playing too much football as well. I think if you're playing football and winning games, you are never tired. And you end up, you're like me and Tags, you don't want to train. Me and Tags never wanted to train. We just wanted to play games. And I'm right, Tags, aren't I? If you're playing and you're winning, you know, it's the best feeling in the world. You're not tired if you're winning football matches. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, Leicester, carry on doing what you're doing. Yeah, of course, there's tough games to come and that, but you know, they're also games that Leicester will look at, quite rightly so, and say, we can win these games. And, you know, you can put the Championship to bed. There might be 5 or 6 games left. The way they're going at the moment, you know, they're going to be sort of in a very powerful position. 20 games left of the season, you know, come sort of, I don't know, sort of beginning of April, Easter time, if you like, Leicester are going to be in a very, very strong position.
The only time me and Tony Cottee had a smile on her face was on a Friday morning when we knew it was a 5-a-side. Half an hour 5-a-side, and then in.
That's great. All training was.
That's all training was on a Friday. Half an hour.
Tags, it was all worth it. Look, I found my prize medal. Look.
Yeah.
There it is.
The Worthington Cup winners medal. Gets
the Worthington Cup winners medal.
You were telling me earlier where yours is, Tags.
Yeah. I've sort of loaned it out to the club,
and
they've put it in a glass cabinet.
Your
50th Northern International shirt.
Nice.
On the second floor.
So that's the one, Tony, is it? That's the of all your accolades that you've got, potentially the one that makes you the most proud?
Oh, without a doubt, Dan. You know, I mean, you've got the England caps and you've got your personal awards and things like that. But I think, you know, and our Tags will tell you, I mean, how gutted I was when we lost to Tottenham in 1999 after 16 years of trying to win. And it was the full final I'd lost, Dan. And you started to scratch your head thinking, I'm never, ever going to win a trophy. So to, you know, the following year, after 17 years of trying to beat Tranmere, and, you know, that was just a phenomenal time for me. And I just got nothing but great memories of my time at the club, and the fans loved it. And yeah, I think that is, you know, it's without doubt, it's pride of place, because it's my only winners medal in the cabinet as a team.
That's very nice to hear that of that glittering career and all the goals that your proudest moment was when you were at Leicester. Let's do the first of our Lurdles then this evening. For those of you that may be new to Extra Time, joining us in 2024, this is your opportunity to get involved with the show. We're basically going to play you a snippet of commentary of a Leicester City goal. It could be from the past, it could be from this season, it could be from last season. Whatever it might be, we want you to tell us who scored it and who the goal was against. There's always a link as well. That's one mini clue for you. So here is clue number 1.
Knocks it short to Ben Chilwell. And here is Wes Morgan.
So that is all you get for clue 1. Don't be alarmed if you have no idea, because we'll play further snippets of the commentary. It'll get more and more. The clues will get easier and easier. But I will play clue number 1 for you one more time.
Knocks it short to Ben Chilwell. And here is Wes Morgan.
So there you go. You've got an idea now maybe of the era, potentially. You can narrow it down to a couple of seasons. Tony just mentioned there about obviously winning a trophy. Leicester are one step closer, albeit the very first step of that journey. They won it back in 2021. The way they're going in the league and winning games, you won't put it past them to keep progressing in the competition. And it always starts in the third round, doesn't it? And for Leicester, they got through against Millwall. We've spoken about maybe they did ride their luck a little bit, but it's what you've got to do when you make particularly 7 changes.
It is, and it's not the end of the world. A decent cup run, yes, the priority, as we've said, is winning promotion back to the Premier League. But what it does do, it gives an opportunity for Enzo to give some of the lads who haven't had as much playing time in the first few months of the season, the likes of Martial, Mark Albrighton came in, Eunice hasn't probably featured as much as what he would have liked. Doyle's come back in since that bad injury, a lengthy spell out with that. He's come back in, and what a fantastic ball he played for the third goal, for Tom Cannon's goal. So it gives those lads an opportunity to get some sort of vital minutes under their belts and get their fitness levels up to where they need to be, because, as Tag said, 20 games to go, still in the FA Cup, lots of games. You're still going to need everybody. Some of the lads have gone away on international duty. Still no Jamie Vardy. He's still struggling with is it a knee injury that he's got? So then I'm not too sure. Anyway, he's not been available. So it's good to have a decent cup run. It just gives an opportunity for other players to show what they're about.
What I say on the back end of that, you've got Wilfred Ndidi out now.
Yeah. Until March?
Yeah, so, getting players like Callum Doyle back fit, whether or not, they do something in the January transfer window, we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure they're looking at possibilities, because he's a big miss, but in fairness to Cassidy, that was a man of match.
What's a header, by the way?
Oh, yeah. I mean, on some of his touches, he had an assist as well for Ricardo's goal with a lovely deft touch. So straight away, he stepped up to the plate, and he's the player obviously who's been had a bit part. He's been coming on a sub on the hour mark for the majority of the season. We've seen little glimpses of this and go, yeah, he's got ability here and ability there. But I thought on Saturday,
was that his best performance?
We're very sure of it out. We're very sure of it out. Some of his touches were excellent. Some of his play was excellent.
I mean, his layoff for the goal was magnificent.
Superb. So, yes, indeed, he is a big miss. Cassidy has shown us on Saturday that, potentially he can fill them boots. Callum Doyle coming back just gives a little bit of strength and depth.
Gives you that balance
absolutely,
in that back four as
well. In the back four. Can play centre half as well if needs be. If, he decides he wants to keep Justin in the team or whatever. But you need that competition for players, that hunger to keep this run going. And even though indeed he's out, he's still got... he's got Doyle back in, and obviously Iheanacho, we don't know how long he's going to be out for as well, which is a miss. Tom Cannon's the only recognised centre forward.
That's what I was thinking, to be honest with you. If any area on the pitch probably could do with strengthening, because it is a magnificent squad. Yeah. It is a magnificent squad. But when you think Patson Daka's, he's away, not too sure how long he's going to be away for. Iheanacho struggling with an injury. Jamie Vardy struggling. The only recognised number 9 you've got, and at the minute he's absolutely flying, is Tom Cannon.
Well, a nice segue into talking about Tom Cannon, Tony, because he came in, his first start was New Year's Day, 2 really well taken goals, another goal then at the weekend, could have had, well, probably should have had a penalty. Keeper made a couple of good saves as well, so he could have had a hat-trick again at the weekend.
Yeah, it's been a great start. He's had to be patient, Dan, isn't he? Was he injured at the start? Wasn't it? Was he?
Yeah.
I'm right. And yeah, I mean, and that's frustrating as a player. You know, when you sign for your club and you want to make an impression, you want to be involved and everything, but when you do get the opportunities, you've got to take them. And you know, I've reviewed his 3 goals, Dan, and I really like what I've seen just by the 3 finishes, because if you analyse the 3 finishes, they're all so different. And you and I know what I'm talking about. As a centre forward, you have to make split second decisions. You know, you don't get time sometimes to put your foot on the ball or take a touch. And his first goal against Huddersfield was a great example of that. On the edge of the box, he's got one thing in mind: I'm going to shoot. And I love that as in a centre forward. I don't like it nowadays when players take a touch and get tackled, or they take a touch and pass it out wide. And it's passing responsibility. You're a centre forward. You're paid to score goals. You have to shoot. And I love that goal. The first goal he scored was a great goal. The second goal, he's 1v1 with a goalkeeper, isn't he? The goalkeeper's coming out. He's got, do you hit it early? Which he does. He slides it past the keeper. It's another really good finish. And then the goal at Millwall at the weekend is, you know, it's about being brave. Again, we see players nowadays, they're not as brave perhaps as we used to be, or stupid, I might add, as we was in our day. You know, sometimes they pull out of challenges. Oh, the goalkeeper's going to take me out. I won't get there as quick as I should do, you know, but no fear of that. You know, takes the touch round the keeper. And again, the confidence to hit it first time. He's not trying to take a touch and, you know, roll it into the net. Just, you know, the 3 goals I've seen have been fantastic, but it's not just that, it's his overall game as well. And I just wonder, and I don't want to put too much pressure on Tom, I really don't, but I just wonder, you know, I look at someone like Harry Kane as a great example of a young kid at Tottenham who couldn't get in the team, who went out on loan for 4 separate spells as a Tottenham player. And it was only the belief of, I think it was Tim Sherwood at the time, who put him in the team. Go on, Harry, go and have a bit of fun and try and score a few goals. And now that Tom's been given his chance, he's now got the jersey, and whatever's happening with the other lads, whether they're injured or away, you know, in Africa or whatever, you know, he's thrown the challenge down now to those centre forwards. I've got the jersey, I'm scoring goals. You've now got to take it off of me. And of course, the manager might make a few changes. FA Cup 4th round, he might make a few changes. I understand that, but you know, he set the example to the other boys, and he's put the goals in. General overall performances have been fantastic as well. You know, he looks a really, really good signing. And I mentioned Harry Kane, and I'm not putting pressure on him, but I'm just giving an example of a young kid who can't get in the team at Everton, and fair play to him, he's gone elsewhere to try and play his football. I think he was at Preston last year, wasn't he? Yeah. And, you know, he wants to play football and he wants to score goals. And I've been really impressed with him so far from what I've seen.
Out of the 3, my favourite, I think all 3 were magnificent goals. His first strike, I mean, how he anticipates that, hits it first time, great technique, keeps it low, plenty of power. His second against Huddersfield, I like. I mean, the desire that he shows to, you know, he's with the centre half, hey, that's my ball, bang, have that on his backside, and then he goes through, and it's such a cool finish. I mean, his first touch on Saturday, taking past the keeper, and he's still got a lot to do, because he knows that there's defenders sort of breaking their necks to get back to sort of try and anticipate and clear that ball. It's a magnificent goal. And as TC said, he's on at Preston last year, 8 goals in 20 games. He's a powerful boy. You know, he's not as quick as your Patson Dackers or your Jamie Vardy's. Not many centre forwards are. But once he gets in his stride, he's hard to stop. And that's why I sort of compared him a little bit in the way he plays and the way he finishes to Stevie Bull. Bully was very, very similar. I asked Walshy. Walshy had plenty of battles with him. You know, he was hustle and bustle. He had great upper body strength. And once he got his eye on goal, that was it. And he was putting his foot through that ball and trying to break the net. He's been outstanding. He's been outstanding.
A good Leicester comparison, Gerry, is, and we mentioned it on the sofa at the weekend. We had David Nugent in ex-Leicester forward, of course, ex-Leicester favourite, and very similar in the way that they play.
Yeah, absolutely. Direct, quick, strong, direct, can finish, different finishes the lads have already spoken about. I think the second one against Huddersfield, for me, he showed great composure. Very easy, but once you've nudged the centre half off and you think, oh, I'm in. You know what I mean? I'm in on goal, and then you
get all excited.
You get all excited. And it happens many times, and it happened on Saturday. where he's had a shot and he's headed straight at the keeper. And he lacked the composure that he showed for the second goal against Huddersfield.
Yeah.
And so it just showed, but there you've seen him just settle himself and go, right, yeah, I'm going to take it early, but I need to settle myself. I know exactly what I'm going to do. So it shows that, yeah, he's still got things to learn as a centre forward, as you do at that age, but it shows the three different types of goals that he scored. He's got an all-round centre forwards game. And as we've already alluded to, there's a likeness between Ewan said, Steve Bull and Dave Nugent. Not bad company to keep.
I mean, what I like is the way he plays on the shoulder as well. I mean, especially those two Millwall centre halves, they were quite high up for that third goal, which meant there was so much space.
Yeah.
But he's anticipating that ball. I mean, it's a magnificent ball from Callum Doyle with his left foot, but he's onto it in a shot. And as you say, the composure, the coolness, the clinical aspect of his finishing in his first two games has been absolutely exceptional.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan. I think it's hard for forwards nowadays because I think with a young kid, I think when I grew up, and this would have been the same for you and as well, as you're a centre forward, and that's it. You stay down the middle of the pitch. You work between the two 18-yard boxes, and that's it. But I think nowadays with forwards, I don't agree with it and I don't like it, but I think they're trying to get forwards to be all-round forwards. They want them to go out wide to the right, go out wide to the left, stay down the middle and be a number 10 as well. And it's almost an impossible job. And I think with a centre forward, and I look at the sort of type of player Tom is, I think it's really, really important that he does what me and Ewan used to do. You work between the two 18-yard lines. You stay in that sort of tram lines, if you like. You don't want to be going out wide. You're not going to score. My dad used to say that to me as a 6-year-old. Son, what are you doing out wide on the touchline? You ain't going to score out there. Get in the middle. Go and score your goals. And I love to see a centre forward who's got that desire and stay down the middle and be a focal point as well. Because again, for someone like Taggart as the defender, if you're looking up and your centre forward's on the touchline, you think, what are you doing out there? Get down the middle. Give me some options. Really, really positive things. Playing on the shoulder. A lot of really good positive signs I've seen so far from Tom Cannon.
Yeah, Raymond on YouTube, Tony says that he loves the look of Tom Cannon and he's got that cocky streak about him, which you want in a striker. Do you agree with that?
Oh, 100%, Dan. Yeah, I mean, but they always say goalkeepers are a little bit different. To be honest, I think centre forwards are a little bit different as well. Because if you're a goal scorer, you've got to have that self-confidence, almost a little bit of arrogance, without being too arrogant. You've got to have a little bit of arrogance that you believe that you can score every time you get the ball. And I always used to say to the lads, and I wasn't being big-headed, I was just saying, give me the ball, give me the chances, I'll score the goals. And you've got to have that self-confidence. And I'd like to think that Tom, as he grows into the team, he can say that, and if they're not crossing the ball, get some crosses in. Mark Albrighton put a fabulous cross in, didn't he, for Cottee for the header. But Tom Cannon can score goals like that as well, But you've got to be confident and you've got to be demanding and most of all as well, if you miss a chance, don't worry about it. I never used to worry if I missed a chance. If you miss a chance, you've got the next one coming. It's when you're not getting the chances when it's a problem. And that's when you've got to look at, why am I not getting the chances? Is it the service or is it I'm not doing what I should be doing? And a lot of the time it was probably I wasn't doing what I should have been doing. In other words, down the middle, nice and confident, score your goals.
Yeah, we assume we'll be seeing Tom Cannon in the starting 11 for that game with Coventry at the weekend. Let's do clue number 2 for our Lardle. Again, we're after the goal scorer and the team that this goal was scored against. Get your answers in on both Facebook and YouTube. Here's clue number 2 for you.
Knocks it short to Ben Chilwell. And here is Wes Morgan on to Taggart Sonchu once more. 87 minutes gone. Game being played in near silence, matching what's happening on the pitch. That's a nice ball to Fuchs.
There you go. That's clue number 2. I think, Gerry, you got an idea yet? You still thinking?
I'm trying to remember who it was against.
Do you want me to play it one more time? I'll play clue number 2 again for you so you can have one more go.
Knocks it short to Ben Chilwell. And here is Wes Morgan on to Taggart Sonchu once more. 87 minutes gone. Game being played in near silence, matching what's happening on the pitch. That's a nice ball to Fuchs.
There we go. While you have a little think about that, I'm going to ask you a question. Ndidi, we know out with injury. We've touched upon it already a little bit on the show. It's we saw both Cassidy and Eunice in that midfield role, didn't we, at the weekend? But Cassidy with the goal, with the assist, he could have had another assist, couldn't he? Has he put himself as the number one, I'm the man for the job, as the Ndidi replacement?
Possibly. Yeah, you'd have to say that, because the way the season's gone in the past 4 months, 5 months, whatever it is, since we kicked off, he's been replacing Ndidi invariably after 60, 65 minutes in most games. So you'd have to say, yeah. But as we also talked about, you could also add Hamza Chowdhury into that conversation, stick him in alongside Harry Winks and move Ricardo into that attacking role where, as Ian's already said, he can't stop scoring.
I was just going to say, we're thinking we've only got one recognised centre forward.
Ricardo.
We've got Ricardo as well.
So the manager's got options, even though Ndidi, who is one of the first names on the sheet, in my opinion, he's missing. He's still got options for people to come in and fulfill either that attacking role or that holding role, that full-back stroke inverted midfield role.
How many goals he got now? Is it 3?
Ricardo.
Yeah. No, Cassidy.
3.
Yeah, he's got 3.
Yes,
3.
3,
Yeah, 2 in the league, 1 in the cup.
Yeah.
But again, there's still options there. So but in saying that, Ricardo has been the mainstay, along with Harry Winks in that midfield, in that holding role, or whatever you want to call it. And Ndidi has been the mainstay in that attacking role. And invariably, Cassidy comes in and replaces Ndidi. So you'd probably just about put him in pole position to start the next league game.
Right, before we move on away from the game at the weekend with Millwall, let's take a look at social media to see how some of the Leicester City players reacted to that victory. Ben Nelson, maybe we'll touch upon him in just a moment, but full debut and a win away support was class. He was fantastic, as Gerry's already alluded to. Tom Cannon, we've been speaking a lot about him. Great win today, nice to get a goal too. Thank you for the support. Next up is Callum Doyle. Callum says, great shift today, great to be back out there. Into the hat, of course. Fantastic to see Callum Doyle back. And finally, Mark Albrighton, Leicester favourite, of course. Loved it out there today. Proper cup tie. We'll quickly do clue number 3 of our Lardle before I hand the show over to Iwan Roberts. Here's clue 3. We need the goal scorer and the team that it was scored against, please. We've already had Bubba guessing Vardy against Spurs. Not yet. It will be, though.
And that's it. Short 2, Ben Chilwell. And here is Wes Morgan. On to Taggart, Sunchu once more. 87 minutes gone. Game being played in near silence, matching what's happening on the pitch. That's a nice ball to Fuchs. Forward to Perez, now Damari Gray. Skips beyond a couple inside the box, rolls it back to Ndidi. Now Hamza Chowdhury shoots!
Sounds like you potentially have the goal scorer there. We need the team that it was scored against. Remember, there is always a link as well. Right, as Gerry mentioned at the start of the show, I'm not here next week, nor for the next few. So Iwan Roberts will be stepping into the breach as main presenter. Potentially putting me out of a job, so don't do too well.
I think you're more than safe,
that, please. So what we thought we'd do this evening is a little bit earlier than normally we hand over to you for Globetrotting. We thought a bit earlier than that, we'll hand the reins over to you as a dress rehearsal for the full show next week. So take it away.
I know the professionals to my right-hand side if I start stuttering and stammering. I pulled up at the car park here at the King Power about, 4:45, and I had a WhatsApp message off Colin Hill. And he sends his regards, boys. Yeah. Obviously a former Leicester defender. He's now working for the PFA. He knew I was on the show with Tags and TC tonight. And he said, can you give the 2 Leicester boys a mention who have been nominated for the PFA December Player of the Month award? And it's Steffi Mavididi, 5 goals in his 8 appearances, and Patson Daka, 4 goals in the month of December. And no Leicester players won this award this season yet, which is quite remarkable, really, considering the form that they've shown and the position that they're in. The other nominees are, so who they're up against Somerville from Leeds, who's scored 4 goals in that period, but Leeds have lost 3 games in December, so I think that might count against him. Southampton's Adam Armstrong, 4 goals and 4 assists. That's not bad, to be fair. Plymouth's Morgan Whittaker, he scored 4 goals in December. And Coventry's Sacramento, attacking midfielder, 3 goals. So, there's some good competition there. But I mean, Steffi Mavididi, not just the type of goals that he scored as well for me. You know, big goals in big games. 2 goals at Birmingham, didn't he? You know, that fantastic finish for the first one where he sort of opened his body out. And he's the one that stands out for me. 5 goals in 8 games. I think he should be the first Leicester player to win that award. Patson Dack's done brilliant as well.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I think you're right. I think I'll probably go with Steffi Mavididi. I think he's an exciting player to watch. He's had a great season. That really does surprise me that Leicester player. You could, there's 4 or 5 straight off the top of my head. You could pick and say, why is he not one up for one? Dewsbury Hall, Harry Winks. Yeah. You know. But yeah, I think Mavididi's
5 goals from left wing as well.
Yeah.
He's not playing through the middle.
No. So yeah, he would be my pick.
And so if Leicester fans, if you want to vote, you can go on the club's website. There's an article on there. Get voting. Get either Steffi Mavididi or Patson Daka. Get them to win this award. Come on, you foxes.
Yeah, Mavididi. I mean, those important goals, weren't they? As you said, particularly the 2 against Birmingham,
the one against Ipswich, where magnificent strike as well. Absolutely magnificent strike.
Yeah, hopefully it will be. Yeah,
it should be. It should be. Is it?
Yeah, it's the types of goals as well, isn't it? You know, I'm not taking anything away. You know, you've got to be in the right place, and that's what Patson Daka has been. He's been, you know, proper centre forward play. Which Tony, I'll tell you, there's no better goal than a 4-yard tap.
Oh, absolutely.
But the types of goals that Mavididi has scored over the last month.
And he's, like you mentioned, Ricardo being, if he's fit, he's on the team sheet. Harry Winks, if he's fit, he's starting. I think Mavididi 9 times out of 10 as well in the league. Yeah, he was rested for Saturday for the cup game. But you know, you look at league games. If he's fit and available, he's started. And he's having his best season goals wise in his career. Long may it continue, lads. Long may it continue.
Yeah, fair play to Patson.
Did you say that it's a monthly award? Did you say it's a monthly award?
Yes.
PFA.
Yeah.
And no players won one this year.
That's what Hilly told me.
I'd love to know who's on the voting
I know, mate. I know. But it's supporters, TC. Supporters sort of have to vote online, sort of thing. And apparently, there's quite a lot of Leeds fans voting for Somerville. So. Come on, Leicester fans, get voting.
Yeah, I mean, Somerville's had an excellent season. We know that Adam Armstrong, I'm a big fan of Adam Armstrong. Good players, you know, but surely Mavididi, Daka's been great when he come in the team, but Mavididi's got to have a great chance of winning that, surely.
I think if there's any justice in the world, boys, it should have Mavididi's name written all over it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right, time to go globe-trotting. First time in a few weeks. Right, you ready?
Ready? Can't wait for this.
A team called Golden Lion. They play in Martinique, but they were invited to play in the French Cup over the weekend because what is it? Martinique is a French colony in the Caribbean. So it's an 8,000-mile round journey. They played Lille, who are 5th in Ligue 1 or whatever it is. They were 7-0 down at half-time. They turned right on the plane and not left, so they were sitting in economy, not in first class. They eventually lost 12-0. So an 8,000-mile round trip, not quite worth it if you ask me. So I was just thinking, lads, what is the heaviest defeat that you can remember in your careers? I can remember.
I've had a few drubbins, that's for sure.
I've had 2 5-0 drubbins on the spin.
Wow.
Lost at the Hawthorns, and there on the Saturday went to Port Vale for Norwich. Lost 5-0 at the Hawthorns. Went to Port Vale. Lost 5-1 at Port Vale when they were in the Championship. not the best of weeks.
A little known fact, just before I mention, I think ex-Leicester goalkeeper Peggy Arfaxad is from Martinique.
Yeah, I think you might be right, Tags.
And you remember?
Yeah,
Peggy?
I remember the name.
He won the Champions League with Liverpool. Never kicked the ball.
2005.
Yeah, but he was obviously here until 2000, 2001, something like that there, and then he went to Liverpool. Yeah, and I'm sure he's from Martinique, Peggy. Great lad as well, Peggy, by the way.
What a name for the team, Golden Lion.
Yeah, Golden Lion.
Heaviest defeats, Tags?
Probably 6, Man U, 6 at Filbert Street, 6-2. Springs to mind. I was actually at Man City. I wasn't playing in the game, but I was at the game and I was there at Man City when they beat Huddersfield 10-0.
10-0. Oh, yeah. I wasn't at Huddersfield, thank God.
Yeah.
For hat-trick, well, Tags, wasn't there?
Yeah,
hat-tricks.
Yeah, that's right. So I was actually at that game.
I thought that was going to happen this weekend.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They went 5 sort of early in the second half. Oh, here we go again.
But the only one really springs to mind is Man U when we had a proper makeshift backline. I think Rob Bullethorne was playing centre half alongside me, and it was just not great, not a great day. Bit like the Wickham.
To be fair, Tags, when we played in the Premier League, when I was at Leicester in the only season when I was here, we conceded 5 at Filbert Street to Man U. So you're in good company, mate. TC?
It's quite easy for me, Ewan. I think when I was Barnet manager, we lost 6-0 away at Hartlepool. It's just the players couldn't get my visionary tactics, I don't think, Ewan. I think that was the problem.
A bit early for the fullback going into midfield. A bit too soon for that, was it, Tony? Yeah.
Was that wind blowing a gale?
Tony, didn't you win your first game in charge of Barnet? Something like 7-0 or something like that there?
Yeah, 7-0, Tags. Yeah, that was. It wasn't my highest one. We beat Bury when I was only 18 playing for West Ham. We beat Bury 10-0, and it's still a record League Cup score. I scored 4 that night, so that's sort of they're the better memories. The bad memories are the 6-0 as Barnet manager, and then as an 18-year-old, West Ham played at Liverpool at Anfield, and we got beat 6-0. Liverpool were European champions at the time, and I played up front on my own against Alan Hansen and Mark Lawrenson as an 18-year-old. I didn't touch the ball the whole game when we lost 6-0. It was terrible.
TC, what was that journey home like from Hartlepool?
Can you imagine you and flipping hell? Oh, it was not good, mate, not good. And I think that was the beginning of the end when we lost 6-0. There was no coming back from that one.
So there you go. That's globe-trotting for this week. I think we're going to have clue 4. We've had 3. I can see Tags' mind ticking away.
Gone.
Have you got it?
I thought you said
No.
I've got it then.
Right, we've had some good guesses, to be fair. Stuart Russell has said Hamza against AEK Athens. That is incorrect. Malk Heggs has said a Marty goal away to Brighton during the COVID period. That's not right either. We have had some correct answers, though. I'll read some of those correct ones out in a moment, but we'll play clue number 4 first.
Knocks it short to Ben Chilwell. And here is Wes Morgan on to Taggart. Sonchu once more. 87 minutes gone. Game being played in near silence, matching what's happening on the pitch. That's a nice ball to Fuchs. Forward to Perez. Now Damari Gray. Skips beyond a couple inside the box. Rolls it back to Ndidi. Now Hamza Chowdhury shoots. Oh, it's another wonder goal. Hamza Chowdhury spectacularly makes it 3. It's a golden start to the new year and the new decade for Leicester City.
Well, Gerry, well done, Gerry. Just said Newcastle. Yeah, well done to Jonathan on YouTube. Well done to the Unicorn on YouTube. There's a couple on Facebook as well. Philip Howard got it right as well. So well done to those of you that said Newcastle.
Right, I think we're going to the Jenga question, aren't we?
We are going to the Jenga
predictions.
Question. You're right.
Right, and I'm not going to get any time to write any answers down, so I could be struggling this week, especially because I've seen the question. Right, name any goal scorer from the FA Cup 3rd round, 2024. Any goal scorer
over the weekend.
Over the weekend.
This is a.
So you get busy scribbling down.
Yeah.
And we're going to get predictions, I think. Which I can't even remember what I did, but I've stopped caring. I've stopped caring.
You're bottom of the league by that much, yeah.
Was it Wimbledon?
That's a good start, isn't it?
To be fair,
that's a great start.
As a former Norwich player, I couldn't go for an Ipswich win. Obviously, Dan got it spot on.
Obviously.
I got it right. Gerry, you got the result right. TC, you went for a 1-1. Fancied a replay at Portman Road. So, was that 3 points for you, Dan?
I think so, mate, yeah.
Top mark.
And these aren't my predictions, by the way.
I mean,
these are Matt Elliott's predictions.
Oh, was that? Okay, yeah. Sunderland, Newcastle, probably the biggest tie of the 3rd round. I hadn't played against each other for nearly 8 years, I think. Dan went for a 1-1. I went for a Sunderland 2-1 win. Not sure what I was thinking. Newcastle lost 8 of their last 9 or something daft like that. Tags, you went for the Sunderland win as well. TC went for another draw. No one right there then.
No.
All 4 of us
No.
got that one completely wrong. Middlesbrough Villa.
Ooh, Matt's
Dan got the result.
Yeah, I picked that one.
Dan got the result right. I got the result right. Gerry got that one absolutely spot on. Where was Matty when you needed him? And TC, you got that one right, mate. Didn't go for a draw.
At last.
Good win for Villa, to be fair. Good win for Villa. Man City 5, Huddersfield.
Ewan.
Get in, Huddersfield
Ewan.
nil. And my former club as well. How could I be that cruel? I mean, you were 1 goal away, Dan. Not a bad guess. Yep, I got it right. 5-0. Oh, we all went for big home wins, and why not with the likes of De Bruyne, coming back. And TC 4-0. But as you say,
Nearly.
not bad considering they were there a few years ago and conceded 10. And the last game of the weekend? No, but that's tonight, isn't it? That's Man U Wigan tonight. I mean, it's smash and grab, let's be honest. How Arsenal lost that, goodness only knows. Dan went for 2-1 Arsenal. I went for a 1-1 draw. Tags, yes. Was that a point, Tags? 2-1 win. And TC, a 2-1 win. So 2 right predictions. And let's have a look. Dan Bates, numero uno. Oh, he's 9-point gap. You're like Leicester. You're like Leicester top of that table.
Flying, mate.
TC, flying, mate. Considering last season you could hit a
place,
barn door with, you know what, 40. Matt and Gerry, 44, and there's myself pulling at the rear, 38 points. Really.
Giving up yet?
Yeah. Yeah, I have. Really poor, really poor.
Well,
but I do get them. To be fair, that was quite a quick one from you this start of the year, wasn't it? You sent it to me about 3 days early.
Yes, I did, yeah. No,
I was.
Thanks to the producer, actually.
I think I got it last year.
Yeah.
It was that early.
Yeah, so you couldn't really, you could study the form a bit longer. It didn't help
No,
you there.
no.
Right. So yeah, we've got Jenga then to finish the show. I'll take over so Ewan can write a couple down. So basically, football Jenga, how that works is the 4 of us go head to head. We're given a theme. So Ewan was given that theme before he did predictions. That's basically any goal scorer that scored at the weekend in the FA Cup. So we've all got to take it in turns to do an answer on that. If we get one wrong or if we repeat one that's already been said, then we are out. My brain has gone completely blank. Normally I can use the excuse of the predictions, but Ewan did that this week, so I don't have that excuse. TC, we can start with you though. This evening, please, if you could kick us off with
I'm going
your
to
first
kick off with Tom Cannon.
and that'll come round to you, please, Ewan.
Go Ricardo.
I'm very sorry, Gerry, but I'm going to say Cassaday.
Diaz for Liverpool.
Round to you again.
To me,
Tone.
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Game I was at, Jared Bowen.
Duncan Watmore.
Right. It's a half gamble, but I need to take it away from Tony. Conway, was he the scorer for Bristol City, was he, at West Ham? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Damn.
You, Gerry.
I know,
Where it is.
I'm thinking. Matty Cash.
Good shout, Tags. The other Millwall score was Fleming.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how I was
fine.
trying to remember. TC, I couldn't remember.
I'm going to go for Wrexham's Tom O'Connor.
That's a rogue shout early
That
doors.
is.
That
I'm
is.
struggling.
I've been
I'm
saving that one.
Get that from?
I am going to say Luis Diaz.
I've said that. I've already said that. Diaz. it's my first-
Daniel. He's got other things on his mind, lads. He's got the knee on tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's a big day tomorrow.
Said it.
He's got a big day tomorrow.
Bye, mate. I can't believe I'm not first out.
I've even got the guy who scored the own goal. Oh well.
I haven't. Alexander Isak.
I'm going to say one there, but I'm going to play safe and go Phil Foden.
Josh Windass. It's the rogue one, isn't it?
Dan Ballard on goal.
Alvarez for Man City.
Gerry Yates.
Is it Smorix for?
Yeah,
Blackburn.
hat-trick.
Yeah, for the hat trick.
I'm struggling now. I think I've got his name right. The lad who's got the Tottenham, Perro, is it? Perro?
Close enough. Porro.
Porro, that's it. That's the one. Good goal as well.
Liam Palmer.
Can I say Smorix again?
And then I'll say it off to you.
Oh,
Double
dear.
great tags. I haven't got many left either.
Oh,
Ewan's going
dear.
to comfortably win this.
Oh dear me. I'm just going. This is purely Bernardo Silva. He must have, No.
Unlucky, Gerry.
I'm guessing at this one, and I think Anthony Gordon scored for Newcastle.
No.
Get it to win.
Do I need
Ewan
this to
Roberts.
win, do I?
Yeah, get it to win.
He's got that. He's
I'm going to
pulling
go for Eastleigh's Chris Maguire.
I mean,
we're
if
going
he's
for-
getting Eastleigh's
He's
Chris
just-
Maguire.
I was at the game, wasn't I? I was at the game.
Oh, well done, Ewan
To be
Roberts.
fair,
First-
most clubs have got
Well,
there.
yeah, first Jenga of 2024, first victory of 2024. That's it. That's all that matters,
I've
isn't
just
it?
gone for Cardiff, Swansea, and
Yeah.
Newport for the Wrexham games.
Oh dear. Well done, Ewan. Ahead of your presenting
Oh, yeah.
debut
I
next
won't
week.
be as cool next
That'll
week,
give you
believe
that'll
me.
give you the confidence.
Talking of
won't
sleepless
it?
nights, that's me for the next week.
Well, we've got a couple, about a minute or so to kill. Coventry next weekend is a big derby, isn't it, Gerry? And it means a lot to the supporters. Those that'll be travelling on the M69 will be hoping for a victory. Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. If you talk to some Leicester City supporters, this is their derby. I know.
It's closest by miles,
Yeah,
I guess, isn't
historically, obviously it's Forest derby, but I'm saying some of the supporters that live out that way
Yeah.
in the Hinkley area, and
Member of
one
our
or
media
two of them
team.
actually, we work with, and they class Coventry as the East Midlands derby, our closest one, as you say. So Coventry, fair play to them. They had a shaky start this season, but again, a team in great form. I'm sure Ewan will give out the stats on that form very, very shortly. But a great stadium, great place to go and play football, a great place as a fan to go and watch it. Looking forward to going there, actually.
And it's just off the M6.
And it's just, and actually looking forward to going to this one because I really enjoy going to
And it's a decent press point as well.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Really
so, yeah,
decent
really, really excited
Maybe
about
good
this
food
one.
for you as well,
Ah,
which is the main thing,
absolutely.
isn't it? Which
Well,
we'll
we'll
find
find
out
out.
on
They've got the
match day.
second best defensive home record. Who's got the first?
Leicester.
There you
Leicester.
go.
Yeah,
There you go.
easy answer. Right, thank you very much to Iwan Roberts, to Tony Cottee, and to Gerry Taggart for their company this evening. As we said, it will be Ewan taking the reins.
And good
in a
luck
week's
tomorrow,
time.
mate.
Tbe very much.
Good luck
Appreciate
tomorrow.
that.
Good
Yeah.
Good
We'll
luck,
be
man.
building up, of course. Thank you, Tony.
Dr. Townsend, legend.
Yeah.
Dr. Townsend, give my
Yeah,
best.
give Subash a big shout out. Yeah. Of course, that game with Coventry at the weekend is it's 12:30
Yeah.
kickoff. That means we'll be live. Won't be me, but someone will be stepping into the breach for an 11:30 start on Matchday Live on Fox's Hub. So do join us for that big game in the M69 derby. Right, have a fantastic week, everybody. Enjoy it, and we'll look ahead to that Coventry